For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal. And if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Berg's Disc Sports. Check out bergsdiscsports.com for the highest quality disc golf bags and gear that have all been fully tested and approved by our disc golf community. The only thing better than Berg's bags is Berg's customer service. And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. I'm Paddy Robinson, and in the booth today, I've got the man whose only flex is a forehand, Timmy Bowen.
Mate, only flex. They're calling me Backhand Bowen these days, the Canberra boys. The backhand's coming along, Paddy.
Maybe the Park boys do. And yes, also joining me is the man who accidentally sneezed all the hair off his scalp straight onto his top lip, Andrew Fergie Ferguson. How are you?
Oh, shit. There go the eyebrows too. I'm stuffed.
Welcome, boys. Episode 46, getting very, very close to that episode 50, which is pretty exciting. Straight up, Tim's favourite, the players' meeting. We welcome Recircuit to the Patreon. Thanks for the support there, mate.
On your Reese.
Yeah, good job,
Legend.
mate.
We do have a couple of follow-ups as well. So just from our listeners have sent some stuff in. Previous episode, Bainey sent in a question about the price of ADGC compared to the Eruption. It was pointed out to us it's actually mostly to do with the ADG fees for these comps. So they have increased for champs. So champs is actually $15 per day per person. So the cost in the entry fees is $45. Where you compare that to the Eruption, which is just a major. So you're going from champs to a major in the Eruption, and it's only $8 per person per day. So $24. So nearly half the price there. So
But they give you, ADG give you a lunch, don't they?
lunch?
Yeah, for that extra, at least a snag.
A bunning snag? That's probably half the price there anyway. But so that is probably the main reason for the jump there. Also following up, we got sent in from like 3 different people straight up.
Everyone sent this in.
Yeah. It's the course difficulty. We've been chatting a little bit about it the last couple of episodes, but UDisc have now brought out course difficulties.
And it's basically what Jacob Davies said. It's the ski slope ratings.
It is the ski slope rating. So you've got easy, moderate, challenging, and very hard running in a green for easy, blue for moderate, grey for challenging, and double black diamond for very challenging. One cool thing about it as well, I'm not going to go too heavily into it, but it sounds really cool how they're making it work. So they sort of go on both distance and technicality. It's basically whoever designs the course doesn't get to determine how difficult it is. It's basically the players. So they've got the distance. It calculates how like short or long or mid-length holes are, and what people are scoring. And then it has a little... what do they call it? An equation or whatever. They've done the science behind it to determine technicality on the distance of the hole compared to what people are scoring on it, and they do lots of averages and that sort of thing. So,
Mate, I'm seeing a lot of colours. I'm also seeing a lot of shapes. There's circles, there's squares, there's diamonds.
Yeah.
This is worse than the colours.
This is play school.
I already tuned out when you were mentioning the descriptions there, Paddy, and you've printed out like a page on it.
Yeah, oh, mate, I was never going to read all that much because, Tim, I know how much you love to go into the details, but...
Just a quick question, though. Do you think Australia has anything harder than like a moderate course right now, off the top of your head?
What's a moderate one?
I don't know.
Is it a square one? Or
Yeah, we're talking like yellow square, I believe.
But this is what I find interesting is that like it depends on the like who's play. If you go and get a course rated up in where is it, Townsville, the one in there where par fives are like 120 meters or something, and the player base there and things like that versus like another state that's got different player. But I mean, how accurate are these ratings going to be?
I think it'll just keep evolving. Probably at the start you might. Surely like if what were some of the scores coming in on that or that course
25
already?
under par, or what did you shoot?
If it's play, I don't know. Like, like 26 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's my PB.
So I'm sure that's going to...
And what if you get like Cam Ford out there? He'll make every course look like a double black diamond. Like, how can they rely on the players? Particularly UDisc players who notoriously hit PBs and course records every second round.
Well, Tim, if you want to answer your own question, I'll let you read through my page of notes there when you get home, and you might figure a bit of it out. But
the regression algorithm takes into account the play.
No,
Jesus, here we go. I can't wait to read this.
But yes, no. UDisc are working on it, so it's just another little feature that's going to be added into your, what, is it $20 a year now?
50.
50.
So literally no one can enjoy it. All right, move on.
Moving on. I do have a quick disc golf reflections / tip of the week that I wanted to read out to you boys as well. So I know, again, this is a favourite segment of Tim's, but I've had...
Not bloody mental game, is it?
Well, it's actually been sent in, so I'm going to read it out.
Righto.
So one of our listeners has sent in, basically, he's felt a bit of a tilt from some bad outcomes, and he feels that like that's a weak part of his game. So at the moment, he's curious how other players manage this outside of the old Happy Gilmore, harness the good energy, block out the bad. Now, when I asked a little bit more on what's been happening, he said he's had that cascade of a bad drive, turning into a bad hole, turning into a bad round, where he said that he played a tournament where he had a bad drive, round one, hole one, and then that set the tone for the whole event and went absolutely downhill from there. So, yes, I thought I'd throw that out there. Have you boys kind of had that bit of that pre-tournament or like tournament funk where you have that bad hole and just have the spiral? How do you pull out of it? What are your thoughts?
I think earlier on in the piece, I probably did as a player. Like when I first kind of started out and I was a little bit younger, like probably, like I would let shit like that gets me. But now, I get a bit older, like just it's a bit of it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like don't blow it all just mentally on one hole. Just take it easy, chalk it up, as a bogey or whatever it is, and move on and just focus on the next one, which is easier said than done. But I feel like just the more you do it, maybe the little bit older you get, the wiser you get, the more you can control those emotions.
Yeah.
Take it from me, the man who's played more tournaments than anyone in the history of planet Earth. Like, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have bad putts, you're going to have bad rounds. It's just put it down as you're going to have bad tournaments sometimes. Just put it down as that and play another one.
Yeah.
Or just do it Chris Dickerson and just punch a tree several times. Use your left hand. Don't use your throwing hand.
But
go mono a mono with that tree.
Yeah. I saw a nice little, I think it might have been on the Disc Golf Pro Tour Insta. It was an interview with KT, and she was talking about just a little bit about the mental game, but how with putting or anything like that, just let your body do the work. Don't think about it too much, which sounds obvious, but the way she kind of quite eloquently put it in her wickedly awesome Estonian accent was like, as soon as you start thinking about it, like you're going to start getting in your head. Your body knows how to putt. It knows how to drive. Let it do it.
Yeah. They've got the European cheat codes, because they've got that stupid European stoicness that we don't have that. We're Aussies. Like, we feel jitters. Yeah. We show it. We've got these things called emotions.
What is emotion?
Yeah.
One thing I'll just on what you say there, love that, Fergs. I think it really is going to come back to how much it's not about you getting to that tournament and then thinking, right, it all weighs down to that tournament. It's what you're doing off the tournament, off the course. Like, are you actually going out and practicing and doing some training and trying to tweak things? If I've had one round, I can really remember where I got through the end. I was like, I've played absolutely terrible. And I was so angry and disappointed, and I wanted to DNF. It just, the body wasn't feeling right. And later, reflecting on it, I looked back and I was like, well, I've actually been really sick for, a couple of months, and I've not played and I've not done anything. Like, why am I actually beating myself up? So I would stress to people, if like you're going into a tournament and you've had an absolute shocker, just look at what you're doing sort of outside. What are the things that you maybe need to work on? So like, what actually went wrong? Like, was it your putting? Was it your driving? Maybe focus on that for a little bit, and just, it is a marathon. It's not a race. Like, just work on those, and eventually you'll start to see that stuff improve and become more consistent.
And not just before the event, after the event as well. Make sure you do a nice tournament wrap-up post.
Absolutely.
Well. So don't forget about that. It's a crucial part of reflection.
Yeah, if you're ever wondering what you need to do, just go over onto Tim's Instagram. Just look through the absolute novels that Tim writes.
Come on, man. I'm 2 lines tops, surely. Can't even write 1 line these days without getting pinged for it.
But,
just throw it through chat, GTP.
But no, thanks for sending that in. We're always happy to talk a bit more about the mental game. But I think, like, when you're out in the course, like, come find one of us and actually ask. Like, I remember when I first started, I was always watching the players better than me, asking those questions of the players that were better than me, and playing with them to see how they, kept their emotions intact and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, try and do that as well.
What's news around the world, around Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Now, boys, maybe I'll start with the Aussie stuff, because we had a massive comp over in the States, the World Championships, Pro World.
That was on last weekend.
That was on last weekend. Yeah.
I knew something. I knew I was going to miss it.
You missed it, Fergs. You missed it. So we'll start with the Aussie stuff. We had a couple of tourneys. First one was the Central Vic Classic, part of the Victorian Tour at Bendigo. Boys, what the hell's Bendigo? No one knows about Bendigo. It's a little hidden gem in Victoria.
Mate.
Great course up there.
I am so glad it was on the same weekend as the WA Open, because that really took away a little bit of the pain of missing WA. But the other thing as well, I hadn't played the full 18-hole layout of Bendigo, and geez, it was good.
It's a fun course.
Mate, it's crying out for a state champs.
Absolutely.
Absolutely crying out.
Yep.
Mate, yeah, surely, with Ballarat's top 3, we're not going back to Ballarat for another Vic Open. So, I don't know, I'd love to see it at Bendigo. That'd be really cool.
I mean, on a golf course, it's called Quarry Hill. There's elevation. It's great. Really good fun course.
It was green. The weather was perfect.
Why was the weather perfect? I'm so bummed I missed Bendigo, but I'm like, at least to be pissing down rain and cold and miserable.
Yeah.
Bloody flawless weather.
I mean, the only asterisks of on the whole Bendigo and playing there at Quarry Hill is the golf club, the actual club. They're just they aren't really getting behind disc golf just yet, which is really disappointing. So I don't know, maybe we need to actually send some feedback to say, hey, it was awesome. We loved being there. Please keep this going and just, embrace it, please.
Well,
Save your course.
I think the tourneys as well need to have a bit more popularity. We have 55 players, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But where the hell is the rest of Melbourne, and where the hell is the rest of Geelong? I know I was in WA, but everyone should be getting around this one. Absolutely.
Yeah. Heaps of fun. Jackson did an awesome job.
Anyway, beating around the bush. Have to shout you out, Paddy. You're a commanding winner here by 10 strokes in MPO with a 24 down.
Yes.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. First MPO win of this year, actually.
No way. First one.
The first one, yeah. I've been coming in second a lot.
I'm looking down at MP40 as well, and there's also a winner in the booth. Andrew Ferguson.
I forgot the trophy. I was going to bring it and put it here, but I forgot. Yeah, but you know what? The bloke who came second, he gave me a good run. I'll give him that. Yes, unfortunately, I got the chocolates, but I happened to be the only person in that division. So there you go.
Wins
Fergie, mate, you played a tournament.
I played a tournament.
I
tell you what, it was great fun. I realised how much I'd missed playing and competing and things like that, and just the vibe of being at an event, even if it was a bit of a smaller one. It was really good fun.
Yeah,
please do it again.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, we love having you back, Fergs. I'm bummed I didn't get to play, but
We're getting that
keen
bug
to
going.
see you on the next
We're
one.
getting that bug.
I'll quickly
Coming
shout out the rest of the winners. MA1, Sebastian Williams over Nathan Parrish by 1 shot. Very hotly contested.
Yep.
Georgia Carroll took out FA1. Peter Hellier took out MA40.
After a 2-hole playoff?
Yeah. 2-hole playoff. And I believe
Two-hole
it's
playoff.
that hole 17, the island over the water.
Yep.
They just played that on repeat, and he got it after the
Yep.
Well done to Highlander. Johnny Cranston took out MA50.
Massive win.
Yeah, 20 shots.
Yeah,
Jesus,
like
Cranny, go
I
easy,
think
mate.
he was shooting 50 plus above his rating. I don't know what he cranked that one.
He was injured as well. He blew out his calf, so he was throwing Nathan Parrish actually hurt himself too. It was only throwing forehands, but Cranny was just throwing like standstill. And
oof.
Yeah, super clean.
Thomas Jankar, he's one to watch in MA2, can throw a disc. He took out the win over Jack Lemon. FA2, Anita Webber had another nice win over Claire Bruton. MA3, Lachlan McKenzie. MA4, David Gannon. FA4, Christine Go. And MJ15, Don Carter. So shout out to the winners there. Now, Paddy, I have one more thing. My ears were burning.
Yeah.
I listened to the lesser-known podcast, but still very good content. Throwlers, Melbourne's own, Alan Brunston, Chris Ronalds. Mate, you featured in it. So
did
please,
Okay.
press play on the recording.
All right.
One thing, though, that I noticed before anything happened, and we gave some tips. We had Paddy as a very, very clear favourite to win MPO.
And held up pretty well.
Well, Paddy didn't show up. Skinny Paddy showed up.
Here we go.
Oh, mate, it was like I had a double take and a triple take, and then I had to ask someone. I'm like, that's not Paddy, is it? Paddy is looking fantastic.
Look out.
Yeah, this is like circa 2018 Paddy when he just won his 3rd Australian championship. He's looking incredible. And everyone needs to watch out because 1,000 rated Paddy is back. I'm 100% sure of that.
1,000 rated Paddy is back. Skinny Paddy.
Look, Alan's got my phone number, mate. If you want to get together.
Tell you what, I was actually there when he kind of said something to you in person at the event, like, oh my God, look, you're amazing, so svelte, and he was blushing. He was definitely blushing.
So Paddy,
He was
that's a compliment.
He was also pitching. No.
if you've got any tips for keeping your hands out of the KFC bucket, please send them along. 1,000 rated Paddy, that's a scary proposition, mate. How, the game's feeling as good as it has in ages?
Yeah, look, it did feel really good over that weekend. And, I think my tournament average for it was like 995, 996 or something. So it was nice to finally put 3 rounds together and put a tournament together. So, yes, it did feel good.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Alrighty, now we have to move over to the real comp, which you missed out on. The WA Open on the famous Mundaring layout. Boys, this was bloody awesome. I was bummed I missed Bendigo, but I'm absolutely pumped I got to play WA Open. Hadn't been to Mundaring since 2019.
Oh, wow.
It's looking glorious, and it's going to be ripe and ready for the big comps next year with, what are they called? The Aussie Open, is that what we're running with?
We've got Aussie Open, and then we've got the World Teams event.
World Teams event, yeah.
Yeah, so exciting.
Bloody awesome. And the Mundaring Disc Golf Club did an amazing job putting together the event with all the side events. Aussie D had a huge win in MPO, 18 under par. He took the win over Connor Donnelly by 1 shot, who was only 1 shot ahead of Blake Houston. MPO was super tightly contested. They went into that final round. Blake and Connor were tied. Austin 2 back, and Austin put her in a killer final round with 11 birdies to take the win.
Yeah,
awesome stuff.
That's nuts.
Very good on that course.
I mean, okay, I put my tip on Austin going into it because I know he's got the distance and he also has the forehand. That's what you need on that course, and he's got the putt. I know some of those local Perth boys were going to be the favourite in Blake, and true enough, Blake was definitely, he's on the podium. But Connor Donnelly, mate, he played 76 points higher than his rating,
Mate,
average for the entire event.
I played with him in the first round, I believe. He looked like Isaac Robinson. Like the form, the putting, like he just was like faultless.
So
it was awesome.
He's rated 932 for the event, 1,008.
Yeah.
1,008. Connor Donnelly, mate, pat yourself on the back. That is huge. I loved seeing you on that leaderboard, following the scores. I was kicking myself that I didn't have him in my picks because
Yeah, me too.
I had it in the Aussie picks.
Great
I had
value at 932.
Oh, mate, I was absolutely filthy, but yeah, huge tournament from Connor.
But
Huge.
Connor, also as a propagator, when you're 932 and you shoot like 4-digit rounds, like
Yeah.
fair dinkum, mate, that hurts the entire rest of the field. But well done. Needless to be said, we are lucky enough to be joined by Connor Donnelly later in the episode. We'll have a chat to him about the round.
Can't
'Cause
wait.
Awesome.
Absolutely one out of the box.
Well, look, we thought we'd try and get Austin, but he was actually still busy doing the interview with Kingsley. So, yeah, we'll get Connor on instead.
There's a man of too many words and a man of not many words in a conversation there.
You'd think they come out in the middle ground somewhere.
Now, FPO, Sarah Lee had a very good win over Cassie Sweeten and Tosh Frequin. MP40, Chris Finn had a big win over Corey Bandy, who played some very solid golf for 3 rounds.
Corey's
Corey's back in
well,
a
just
big way.
awesome by Sarah as well, because I would have probably had my money on Cassie with the distance that Mundaring requires, but Sarah kept it clean, got the chocolates.
No 13s, got the win.
Yeah.
MA1, Hayden McPherson, highs of flight, Ausdis, good win. He had an 8-shot win over Aidan Dightwig. Fingers, good to see him back. Haven't seen him playing for many years.
Fingers.
Where does that come from?
That's his nickname, Fingers. He's one of the
Fingers Dightwig.
he's one of the golden Frolfen turkeys. They've all got great nicknames over there in WA.
Is he a nurse?
He might be a nurse.
Is he an RN?
He might be a nurse, yeah.
Mate, keep that nickname out of your career, by the way. Fingers as a nurse is not a good nickname. Jeez.
I don't even want to know why, but my brain's going there. But he was tied for second with Marty Oberg and Mark Shepherd. FA1, Sue Summers had a 1-shot win over Sam Ockerbeard. Love to know how that one panned out. MA40, Matt Beard had a win over John Schlobom. FA40, Jasmine Barr had a win over Tanya Leanne. MA50, Lotus Kingston smashed it.
Local boy.
Yep, he had a 5-shot win over JB and Michael Canty in 3rd place. MA2, Will Atkinson. FA2, Leah Manning. MA3, Joey Derbyshire. MA4, Braden Hahn. And FA4, Claudine Baker. But
Nice.
look, WA Open was bloody awesome.
Yeah, I want to ask you a few questions about it.
Oh, you want to know who the real winner was? The winner of the tiki-taki putting competition?
Oh, yes, please, tell me.
That was my good self. Thank you very much.
Gee,
Sponsored
well
by-
done, mate.
Congratulations.
It was fun playing pitch dark holes. with like, actually, I got told off for being a cheater because it was like, it was supposed to be like a putt course. But I brought a Firebird, and mate, the Firebird was OP. Seriously, just ringing up chains.
Oh man, that's hilarious. One thing I've noticed with the course in Mundaring as well. I mean, what have we got? At least only the top 10 in MPO and maybe Finney. Mm-hmm. No, Finney was over. Under par.
Yeah.
So really, really solid on score separation.
Yeah.
And Timmy, you were there. I think par was coming in at
960 odd.
960, 970.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
I
How did it feel? Yeah.
Look, it felt good for me. I was super daunted. I think I had 2 practice rounds, both like well over par.
Actually,
wasn't feeling great.
You need to talk about your practice lead up to the event, mate. Because have you ever played that much disc golf before an event?
Never. Like 1 practice round tops. I was there like 2 days early.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
But like, I made the mistake of hanging out with Blake Houston, who's 17 and runs like an Energizer bunny. Like, we were getting to the course at like 9 a.m. and leaving at like 7 p.m. Like, I was dead. I was fair dinkum dead.
Man.
But look, the course, I was really daunted. Like, I know the course doesn't really suit me because it's a lot of backhands and sort of pushing my distance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think another couple of pracky rounds and I'd be consistently shooting under. I think I was figuring the course out as the rounds went on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, definitely happy to be under because you can easily get a lot of bogeys on that course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, I've played it in the Aussie Opens. We've had one Aussie Open where it was very, very, very heavy on OB.
Yeah.
Wasn't as heavy on OB. Like there was a bit around, but
I think it was pretty much what it was for those Aussie Opens,
Okay.
except for
Yep.
a little bit. Like off the top of my head, there was no OB on the right side of the first hole,
okay.
which makes a big difference because a lot of people
Huge.
were just bailing out to the right.
Yeah.
I know I was. Like, whereas if that OB right was there, I wouldn't throw the forehand.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think most of the rest of the OB was there. It's been a while since I watched the old Spin TV on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Check that out if you haven't.
I know in 2015, we did the par 5. Like, so what's that? 16?
Yeah, hole 16.
Yeah, so 16. That was roped.
That was roped.
Yeah.
In 2015. 2017, it wasn't.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I mean, having said that,
Once
you
you're
know,
off the fairway, it's rough. Like it's
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It doesn't need it necessarily. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hated that OB when it was there because the second time round, like you could scramble. It took away your scramble game completely. But
I reckon that might be the one of the funnest holes in the country. Hole
Yeah.
16 at Mundaring.
Did I see some footage of you absolutely smashing, a second or third? No.
Yeah, third.
Third, yeah.
I go soft off the tee because I'm like I'm going to hit that tree if I throw it backhand. So I go forehand, and then I just have fun cranking the next 2 shots out.
yeah,
It's what 300 and something meters.
300 and, is it 80?
375.
Yeah, 375.
Yes. It's no joke.
375 meters, par 5, big wide fairway, downhill. It's just like throw as hard and as flippy as you want, and just let it glide.
Yeah.
Awesome fun. I missed the putt too. That was a that I don't know. It was a Blake Houston sponsored hole, and he had a nice Blake Houston flag on top. And I don't know what was happening. There was like a little mini cyclone down at that basket.
Yeah,
It was
right.
just changing direction every second. I blame Blake for that. So
fair enough.
missed the putt.
But no, overall, Tim, like love the event, love the course.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
sick. Can't wait to go back there again. Mundaring, definitely a really good place to play disc golf. And look, the WA disc golfers, they're probably left out a little bit because they're so far away from everywhere else in the country. Great vibes, really good community,
Yep.
good clubs, and heaps of fun. It was good
Sweet.
to see a lot of people I hadn't seen for many years.
Nice. Cool. All right.
Now, we have to move back to the States. The PDGA Professional World Disc Golf Championships, 5 rounds at Smugglers. Who won, Paddy?
Oh, mate. Well, we had our tips, and FPO. We need to talk about FPO first. Huge by Kristen Tatar, like dominating the entire field for the entire time. She was leading from the very first round. Just comes out with just a casual 10:34 opening round to give her only a 3-stroke lead over Valerie Mendhano.
Yep.
Kat Murch, Missy Gannon in the mix. Unfortunately, we see Owen Scoggins.
Yeah,
Just-
DNF'd.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
You hate to see it. She was probably like everyone's next best tip.
Yeah.
Scoggins. So really, really disheartening. But
It was hard to watch too. She looked like she was in a lot of pain. Just couldn't throw. I don't like her forehand. How she whips it around. It
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
it hurts, but yeah, that hurt. And I don't think she's one to actually DNF anyway. I think she would push through, but she's had to. So yeah, bit disappointing there from Owen. I'm sure she'll be back firing soon though. Round 2, Kristen then decides, that was a pretty hot opening round, but I'll just shoot another 10:39. I'll better it.
Yep.
In this second.
Not to be outdone, I should say, by Missy Gannon, who was making a bit of a charge with a 4 under par in that second round. So,
Yep.
but still, heading into the third with 8 shy of Kristen. You've got some work to do.
I read after that 10:39 too, if she actually averaged 10:10 for the next 3 rounds, in the next update, she'd be 4 digits. She'd be 1,000 rated.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
unfortunately, she didn't do that. But
Well, I just want to, while we're on round 2, I want to shout out a very special man who was introducing them all. So
no, Paddy.
this is at the very
Paddy.
start
Can we
of
play the
round
whole
2.
thing? Play the whole thing?
This
Yeah.
is the announcer.
This is the announcer.
guy killed
All
me.
right. This is the most dominant female player in the last 18 months. And this is how you announce her.
In the tee today from Pärnu, Estonia. She is currently holding a commanding 8-stroke lead over this field. She's representing Prodigy Discs, the current world champion of disc golf.
Mate, she throws latitude 64.
Who is this twat? He wants a little bit of me time.
Goodness
Fair dinkum.
Throwing prodigy disc. Do you watch the footage? Everyone's just gone,
Mate.
what are you talking about, mate? Like, yeah.
And if you watch footage of me in my kitchen watching it, like, mate, spit it out already. Why are you slow talking?
I mean, we've talked about calling Nico on time violations, Gannon, but you need to call a time violation on this announcer.
On the announcer, fair dinkum. It was like getting one of the bloody trees from Lord of the Rings to call out the cards. Like, no one's got time for that, mate. Hype him up.
No, third round, Kristen goes again shooting, what is she? She's then at 17 under, another 4-stroke lead over Missy Gannon. Missy still playing really well.
Yeah, real hot. 6 under in that third round.
Yeah, I wake up, the fourth round happens overnight. I wake up to a bit of a strange post from Paige Pierce.
Yeah. This was doing the rounds on Reddit, actually. Very funny stuff.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of it. But basically, Paige has made this big post saying, "Oh my God, Missy, you are about to do this. I can't believe it. I can't wait to be. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to be there. I wish I was there walking down hole 18 with you just as you're about to win your world championships. I'm so proud of you. I love you." All this stuff. I'm
Just
there
basically
like
calling it. She's called her the 2023 winner.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the? Did Kristen DNF? What the hell happened overnight? I'm like straight on the thing. She's got a 5-stroke lead still.
Yep. KT has the lead. Not
KT does.
Yeah.
Like,
this was a little bit of like positive mindset, trying to like imagine it and then it happens. Isn't that like The Secret? Isn't that that shitty book from like 20 years ago?
Like visualize it. And
The Secret.
Visualize?
Okay.
Yeah, you put
Was
a
that written by an Australian woman?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was like put a picture of a Lamborghini up on your wall and stare at it.
Yeah.
And then you'll have one in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I've still haven't got my Lambo. But
I've got Patty on my wall and I still don't have.
you can have Patty.
But the funny thing was, like, she got torched in the comments.
yeah.
Like, just properly brought through the ringer.
Yeah.
And then she backflipped, which made it even more embarrassing, which was so
I'm
funny.
convinced that she's like, trying to do some sort of PR, not PR thing, but whatever. She's like written some sort of like pre-templated kind of thing to like, post as soon as she's going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so she didn't have to do it on the spot. I'm convinced she's had to otherwise, what's she been smoking otherwise?
No, it's her and Alyssa. They just vomit butterflies and rainbows, mate. They're all positive everything. It's sickening. For my cynical mind, it's sickening. Be real.
Oh, man.
This is getting her butt whooped.
Well, look, Paige then did the full Elaine King and completely jinxed Missy Gannon. She ends up coming second. Kristen wins by 6 strokes. Actually, speaking of Elaine King, did you see like the picture of Kristen giving her daughter a hug at the end? They're walking down together.
Oh, yeah.
It's like awesome.
I remember that when she got pinged for being an underage caddy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But no, super incredible performance from Kristen Tatar. Like, absolutely dominant. Any thoughts of her coming into this tournament with an injury? Squashed.
Could have been real interesting, though, if Missy hadn't. She double bogeyed the last hole of round 4.
Yes.
They would have put the lead right there at like 2 shots, and it would have been way tighter going into the last day. But look, doesn't matter now. KT got a win by 6 strokes, and she is the FPO World Champion for 2023.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Smashing it.
Man, so exciting. I am hitting the old refresh on Latitude 64 factory store. I want that disc coming out. I want my 2-time KT Grace.
Let's do it.
I'm keeping an eye. Before we go to the MPO as well, I wanted to shout out an epic moment from Ali Smith, who aced hole 8. I've watched this like so many times. Hilarious. She hits this incredible like backhand like turnover ace.
Can't see it. Blind.
Yeah, completely blind. I've played the hole. It's insane. But her run-in was epic. Like, just like, 100 meters around a corner, just fist pumping like,
it was sick.
the whole way. And then the caddy, her caddy's like, what do I do? Oh, I better run it in as well. So the caddy's behind her. She goes, she collects the disc, and then she says, so where do I go now? Just epic moment. Really,
what a
really
sick
awesome.
ace, though.
Oh,
That's huge.
man, that like even if you come dead last, getting something like that,
Yeah.
that'll make your worlds. That's a special worlds moment.
definitely made me wish I had a run mine in, but I'm just too unfit.
Mate,
Now.
you high-fived yourself. That was fine. Looking for help with course design and installations, a new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au. Actually, shout out, we didn't talk about anyone else, but Evelina Salonen comes in tied for third with Alex Benson and Holland Hanley. Holland Hanley played very solid. She's a great putter. Like, if anyone wants to watch some solid putting, go watch her.
I was actually very impressed with Evelina's putting.
Yeah.
That's not where she lost the strokes. She lost the strokes because she was trying to piff like destroyers on these really tightly wooded holes at full pelt, which respect, because that's how I'd do it. But when you hit a tree with a destroyer, it tends to go miles off in the wrong direction. So, yeah, she paid the price several times on some of the holes that I saw. But her putting looks like it's vastly improved. She looks confident, Evelina.
Yeah.
So definitely one to watch.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
Because I reckon some of these European girls are really the only chance that we have to give Kristen a bit of a scare at the top. Mm-hmm. Ali Smith comes in sixth. Tied for seventh is Marie Oliver.
Seventh.
So, tied for seventh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Henna, Blommerus as well. Silva Saranen and Lucky Lawrenson.
She was playing on the final, on the league card on the final day.
Yeah, she can putt too. Really good to watch.
She can, a beautiful one on hole 18.
Valerie Manduano comes in tied for seventh as well. So very, very awesome, big stack of awesome players there. Cool. All right, we've talked about enough of that. Let's go into MPO. Mate, if the FPO was really kind of decided from the start, it was not the case for the MPO.
Not a chance, but we've got to shout out the winner. We have a one-time MPO world champion, Isaac Robinson.
Praise the
Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Mate, he just, I think he was in my sneakies.
And it was kind of like he shouldn't have been in the sneakies. Like, I think we all kind of thought he was a top 3 favourite.
Yeah.
Just the prior performances on these courses, and he's won majors. He's good.
100%. I think he was my outside top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Outside top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think really him coming. It was mostly in the fourth round. Mm-hmm. I mean, he finishes that fourth round playing Fox with a 12 down, one of the hotter rounds of the tournament, and then so he goes into the final with a 3-stroke lead. And I don't know, man, that lead card on the final day, I sort of looked at those guys, and I don't want to take anything away from any of them, but like you've got Isaac Robinson, Evan Scott, Kyle Klein, Calvin Heimberg. I really kind of felt only Calvin maybe has the grit to like attack this. I don't get massive like scary, intimidating vibes for an Evan Scott or a Kyle Klein.
I think the scares were coming from the chase card, unfortunately.
100%.
It was AB, Eagle McMahon, and Matty Oram.
And Chris Dickerson as well, man. Yeah. He's sitting in there. Chris can light it up.
That's it.
I mean, Isaac had to be thinking about Eagle, who in the fourth round shot a course record of 14 under on Fox. Insane.
Nuts. To be honest, I feel like he should have had a 15 in the last round too, because he had a OB on 16, OB long.
Yeah.
Who the hell goes OB long on that hole off the tee?
With a mid-range.
That's a par forward little dog down the hill.
It was one of those shots that he just pured it so well.
With a mid.
Yeah.
He throws a mid.
And then he got a roll away on 18.
Yeah.
His upshot.
Yeah.
To OB. So, that's every bit of 15 down in my books. Eagle was charging, and he lost by 3 shots ultimately, but I'm giving him those 2 strokes. That's just bad luck, and that's one shot off the pace.
I think it definitely played into Isaac's favour though, having perhaps, like as you were saying, those 3 on the other card on his card, which weren't maybe pushing as much. No, because there was no card pressure for him to kind of capitulate. And
I mean, Evan Scott came out firing. Like, shout out to the guy. Mm-hmm. He's going into a final round second, 3 strokes off the lead of the Worlds, and he played those first few holes impeccable.
How old is he? How old is Evan Scott?
I don't know how old he is. Oh, no, he's 18, sorry.
He's 18.
But he's every bit of 50 kilos sopping wet. Like, the kid is, like, dare I say, he's the little runt of the litter.
Yeah.
And look, I want to point this out. Like, we're talking about that final round pressure. Like, what do you want in that moment? You want a good caddy. Isaac Robinson had his dad on the bag.
Yeah.
The other three guys, no caddy.
Dead set thought it was his brother for like the first 3
Yeah, I know.
His dad looks like about 28.
That's what Kat said. She said, if you type in how old is into Google, it'll finish how old is Isaac Robinson's dad. It's fair dinkum.
Yeah,
Could have been his brother.
What a dilf.
But like, I want to point out, Evan Scott, not only did he need a caddy, he needed someone to push his pram along. That kid looked like he was a baby, mate. What's he doing on lead card at Pro Worlds?
I mean, he's sponsored by Discraft. There's a stack of players like that are, have a bit of sport, but like 100%, maybe someone, with some experience needs to come in and be like, right, let's settle a few nerves here. We've got a junior sponsored player here, Discraft. Maybe let's like show him some support. You don't like if he doesn't want you to carry a bag, fine. But like having like an experienced caddy like coming with you, like huge to talk a few things out and shake off a few nerves.
I know Philo said it. He's like, Philo was the same. He likes to be in control of his bag and have it near him at all times. But I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, not only is like lugging that weight around going to have some strain on your body throughout the whole round, and it's a long course, a lot of walking.
Yeah.
You've got someone to like settle the nerves.
Yeah.
Like in golf, you have like it's a job. They pay their caddies.
Yeah.
I think like Tiger Woods' caddy was the highest paid New Zealand sportsman for many years.
Yeah.
Hit the caddy.
Yeah.
Like,
sick.
Yeah. Huge, they're probably pretty handy. Well, I know they're pretty handy golfers themselves, but they're earning their dollar as well. Like they're, in the way they kind of
get like 10% of the win or something like that, or 20%.
There's some pretty funny behind the scenes kind of mic stuff between golfers and their caddies and stuff,
Yeah.
and quite often the caddies calling them out, like the golfer for wrong calls and all the rest of it. But
that's it. It's just keeping him in check, and Anyway, I'm giving the world championship to Isaac Robinson's dad.
Yeah,
he was the reason.
Well, it's nice. He was also on the bag for him in the last major too, which I thought was nice. Yes.
And how sick was it seeing when, as soon as Isaac won, his brother Ezra just running up to him and giving him a massive hug. That was just awesome stuff.
Yeah,
awesome scenes. I want to take a few steps back though, and I've got to point out that first round of Worlds and just the pressure. We saw a lot of the sort of favourites or the heavy hitters really crumble in that opening round. And a part of it could have been the weather. I know the weather, like, did you see the FPO weather? Like, that was the heaviest rain I've ever seen. Yeah. That was absolutely mental. I think it was, I forget her name. I'll grab her name, but she posted the still.
Val.
No, it was, it was Chris Clemens' partner. I can't say her name.
Sayonara?
No, not Sayonara.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's got a hard to pronounce name. I'm going to find it. Hannah Huynh. Huynh. Not doing me any favours with that spelling of that name there. Yeah, the photo there was so much water hitting her at one particular still frame. It was just insane. Yeah. Then it dried up for MPO, and then there was a lightning delay. Yeah. So 7 cards actually didn't finish that first round and had to get up early the next morning. And this included all the big boys like Macbeth, Dickerson. They had to get back up and finish the last few holes the next day. Ricky as well. Yeah, and they played terribly. And then they had to go back, have a little snooze, and come back and play round 2.
Yeah. It was interesting they kept the cards the same as round 1 as well.
It's the only way to do it.
Logistically, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
That's why we had some interesting names after the first 2 rounds on top of the leaderboard. Chris Clemens had the hot round, 12 down.
Huge opener.
Yep. I'm hoping he was, caddying for his partner in that first round in the wet, though. I bet he wasn't. He was probably just in mindset mode. Proctor and AB also hot rounds at 10 down. And then at the end of round 2, we had Grady Shue and Nicholas Antela tied at 18 down.
Yeah.
And that's where Ricky, Dickerson, Burr, Colradalen and AB also shot up the rankings.
Mate, it was tough watching Rick.
Yeah.
They mentioned to his caddy, like, what's the play here? Also, shout out to Rick's caddy, who not only is carrying, like, Rick's cart around, but also has a bag on the back as well.
What, the cart and the bag?
He's got the cart and the bag.
What does he take around the bloody course?
I have no idea. Probably, like, there's probably some crystals or something in the bag. I don't know. But, doing a huge job. But he said, like, I think it was the Kobe mentality or something like that. Like, it's you give everything now, like nothing left on the course.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like Ricky was just off. Like he wasn't putting like Ricky does. I know one of the simple like forehand holes on Fox, he threw it straight OB. He just wasn't in the mix, and that shows in the fight. Like, I mean, he's still like what, top 20? He came 12th at the end, so still there, but just not that like raptor legs, fire Ricky that we have known. And the same with Paul Macbeth. I mean, a lot of people are going to talk about this as being like one of the biggest stories. It's the first time Paul hasn't finished
First or second.
This is 2012, like 11 years.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That is
but
nuts.
I mean, I don't think that's a massive shock for a lot of people, is it? Like with the year that he's had?
Yeah, absolutely. And he was injured going into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't even 90%. Terry Miller was saying, does it hurt after you throw or does it hurt when you do this? And he's like, it literally hurts when I like lift my shoulder up a little bit.
Ugh, right. Okay.
And he's still
just wait.
Tied 13th. He's only 11 off the pace.
Oh no, which is crazy. I was just going to say, wait till that baby comes and he's carrying it around everywhere. He's screwed.
Yeah.
What I think is a bigger story is that friend of the show. Last year, he came third, Tristan Tanner. TT. And you had to jump in the Inverleigh Dam about it. Where did he come now? I don't think he even made the cut.
Keep scrolling.
I'm scrolling all the way down. I cannot see. He didn't make it.
Something like that. I don't know.
So there's a bigger dropout. Everyone will focus on Paul, but Tristan, I'm watching you.
We did have a couple of bets, didn't we? Nothing came true to it.
Nah, I think Paddy should jump in if Nico finished top 50, which he did.
Top 10. No, top 5.
I think Lukey Bain got to play with Tristan Tanner in one round.
Yeah.
I hope Bainey mentioned it. Because Tanner gave me no love on the socials. No. He's a very, he doesn't give a lot. He takes a lot on the socials, Tanner, but doesn't give a lot.
Did we all see the video of Tanner actually having a bit of a scratch of the old belly?
Mate,
and then
he was playing some pocket ball.
It wasn't his belly, mate. I thought he was going to pull it off.
I was waiting for the fingers to come up.
That's
and have
enough, Tanner.
Sniff.
Stop mentioning Tanner. I don't want any more Tanner.
Tell you what, actually, Bainey had a didn't he won his first round, didn't he?
He won the card.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the best. Not the best world's foot Bainey. I think he finished 160 something. Hang on, I'll find that. But look, representing Aussies over there.
Absolutely.
Well done to Bainey.
And there's definitely a few shout outs. I know Follow was giving all the nationalities a shout out in the booth there. So,
161st Bainey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're talking about Tanner, he jumped out of the B pool last year. Grady Shue was the one who did it this year.
Yeah, nuts.
Well, I don't think he was in the B pool, but like no one expected Grady Shue to be, tied for the lead after the second round.
I don't think Grady Shue.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was going to be tied for the lead.
Can you imagine if he had a one?
Yeah.
Because this is like Paige biggest one.
Yeah,
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mate, that baby. You'd be thinking that would be a shoe-in for Worlds eventually.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Nah, look.
Look, I've got, I don't know if there's any more MPO Worlds that we want to talk about. I think we should shout out actually Nate Sexton's ace. That was
Nate Sexton's ace. We haven't even mentioned AB. Came second.
Sorry. Yes. Keep going.
AB second, Eagle third, Matty Oram tied for third as well. What a legend. I think everybody loves Matty O.
Yeah.
Calvin Heimberg fourth and Gannon Burr fifth with Alden Harris and Kyle Klein.
Yeah, huge. I mean, there's still some big hitters in that top 10.
Yeah.
Big hitters. I mean, Simon looked great. Chris Dickerson could have been there the whole time. Like, he was on lead card for a few rounds there as well. Ricky, he could have been there. But is Calvin a bit disappointing? I was a bit disappointed with Calvin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There was, it's definitely the talk about his ability to be able to finish a comp.
Yeah.
Mr. Very, that last round, Isaac went birdie, birdie, birdie to start. Like everyone birdies 1 and 2, but hole 3 is a touchy hole, and he parked it. And then Calvin hits first available, puts it to like 7 meters, and then misses a putt, which is very not Calvin-like in the circle. And that's just tourney pressure.
Yeah.
World's pressure.
That's 4 or 5 rounds of pressure.
Yeah.
You've got to think if he gets the monkey off his back,
yeah,
he might just kick on and just absolutely smash it because he's, one of the highest rated players, one of the highest ranked players, and all that kind of stuff. So I do hope that he manages to kind of beat that little
so close.
monkey.
Well, look,
did you see his very first shot of round 1? Calvin Heimberg?
No, I missed it.
no.
Hit the band.
Oh, no, I did see that.
Almost roared up the ace to start.
Yeah. That was
and then
sick.
followed hole 2 with a double bogey.
Yeah.
So, it just says it all with Calvin. I think he just needs to, stay in check. Maybe he needs a good caddy.
Well-
Someone to like take him that extra step forward. I think he's got all the skills physically. He probably just needs that sort of mental prowess to come in. So someone to coach him in that front.
Mate, there's plenty of tips getting out there, and we all love actually that Philo and the Nate Doss keys for closing. But maybe this will help Calvin. We've got Prit Koiv has come in and he's done.
Here we go.
Prit's 3 keys for closing. So Calvin, if you're listening, listen up, mate. Here's the 3 tips.
Don't f*** it up. It's not that hard. Don't f*** it up, mate. Just don't f*** it up.
He's dead set in the toilet recording that. Some bloke is sitting next to him in the next door going, well, what am I doing? I'm not f***ing earning it.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, Nate Doss's keys for closing are pretty notorious in the old disc golf community, aren't they?
Mate, if that's not the easiest cash that they've made that whole time, what are your keys for? Oh, don't throw a B, don't be fancy, and throw it in the basket. Yeah, get birdies.
Yeah, before we wrap up Worlds, I just wanted to go. I jumped on Statmando. And,
here we go.
Put together a few little stats which I thought were kind of interesting. So, Isaac Robinson, he led the field in strokes gained, tee to green, holes parked, and averaged a 10.56 for the event. So pretty handy there.
Jeez.
And it's only 133 days since Isaac Robinson's first major win.
He really is the most accurate thrower, isn't he?
100%.
And it's so robotic. Like
so smooth.
Every throw that he does looks exactly the same.
I love watching
I wouldn't say it's smooth. It's just like it's a little jagged actually, but it's
consistent.
It's repeatable, and he does it the same thing every single time.
100%. And that win is the shortest time between a player's first MPO major win and their second in history. So the only other person to do that was, the second fastest was Nico Lacastro, 245 days between winning the USDGC in 2009 and then the Japan Open in 2010.
Yeah,
so there you go.
okay.
So he's definitely running pretty hot. And he's now won $116,000 in the past year, 64 grand of which was just earned the last 3 tournaments.
Damn.
That's a good little income, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I wonder if like the prodigy like heads are just heads of the business are kind of like, oh geez, we really stuffed up at the start of the year where we said we've only got 1 A list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny we were talking about that at the start of the year because it was all about Gannon Burr and blah blah, and you had one impeccable player on your list.
Yeah,
Isaac took that personally. Mate, they better be open the pocketbook.
He's due for a payday, Isaac.
Yeah.
Like I think there'll be plenty of people coming knocking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's shown he's got the pedigree to win majors. He's super young. Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't you offer this guy like a 10-yearer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris Natar wins the Pro World. It's her fourth straight major victory.
Damn.
And she's the first player to win 4 straight FPO majors this millennium, and the third to do so in all time.
Wow.
So
wow. Who, Juliana?
I think
Correlate?
Valerie Jenkins.
Oh, Val?
Maybe. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I
Damn,
think.
man.
This millennium, at least, anyway.
That's
Tatar,
sick.
she led the field in strokes gained tee to green and averaged 1,007 for her event rating. So there we go. So she's definitely going to be pushing that 1,000 rated rating.
Yeah, it just needs one good one. One more good comp.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to rock up to like a summer league somewhere, or just play some sort of flex start on her home course.
Oh wait, Kristen, Inverleigh. Tim, you're running the summer league, aren't you?
Please, I'll sort you out.
You'll
KP.
have to shoot like 24 down, but yeah.
I can make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Speaking of AB, it's his first time finishing second at Worlds, first podium at a major pro level.
Good on him.
Yeah, and he's 1,055 event rating is the best of his major elite career.
Nice,
That's
AB.
awesome. It was really good to see him up there. And the 20K paycheck is 5 times his previous best prize cash.
Nice.
So
he got 20K for second. Isaac got 30. What did the other boys get? Because I mean, like,
I think it was a tie for third. It was like 13.5. I think they both.
So Eagle and Matty O both had rollerways on the last hole, which cost them 6.5K.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like when you traded like that little roll, 6.5 grand.
I think Eagle and Matty be all right about it. I'm sure they'll be fine. They're probably their bonuses is about 10K for finishing third.
Yeah.
I've got a Matty O stat here. He's the man who's worn sunglasses for the most amount of time without actually wearing them on his eyes. Fair dinkum. That guy just puts them on his head.
He took a putt, but they were on his nose. Or they were on his forehead. I can't remember.
He just puts them on his head for swag value because they fall off when he jump putts.
Yeah.
But, like, he's awesome.
He's awesome.
Coolest looking dude on the course, Matty-O.
Speaking of him, the last stat, the longest gap between first world's podium and the most recent world's podium is Matty-O, who 17 years.
Wow.
17 years. So the first time he stood on the podium at a Worlds was 2005.
And now,
Yeah. And the only other person was Ken Clymer, 16 years, and that was between 1990 and 2006.
That's nice.
Matty-O is a vampire.
Yeah.
Dead set. He hasn't aged a bit. Good on him.
how old's this dude? Like, how was he doing this? He still looks like he's like 25.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's the Sunnies.
One last stat I saw, we had a big streak that got broken. Avery Jenkins.
Oh, that's right. He didn't get in.
A bit of a controversial one there.
Well, yeah. What did you boys think about it?
No, tell us about it. So what's the story there, buddy?
What is it? It was like 23.
It was going to be his 24th Pro Worlds in a row.
Yeah.
Obviously, he won in 9? No. Yeah, 9, I think it was.
Yep.
And I think by default, as an ex-winner, you do get a slot in the field. I know with the USDGC, USDGC you do, or
definitely USDGC.
Maybe Worlds you don't.
They get entry for the rest of their lives.
Here you go. How about I just read his post? Okay. Avery Jenkins. It's an end of an era, as I will not be competing in my 24th consecutive Disc Golf World Championships, the longest active streak in the sport. I was unable to get into the tournament off the waiting list, and I was denied any type of past champion exemption into the event. I've been fortunate enough to compete in every Pro World Championship since 1999 in Rochester, New York, and I've been present at every Worlds at some capacity since 1991 in Dayton, Ohio. Wow. So disappointing.
Bit salty for not getting the Guernsey to play, but I mean, there's...
Mate, if you were on that wait list, you're on that wait list for a reason.
Yeah.
And we know Bainey played. He was like 70 on the wait list, and he got in.
Yeah.
So where the hell was Avery on it? I mean, he would have been invited. He would have had an opportunity. I think he's probably, he's dropped the ball.
It's not just to do
with
registering, surely. It's to do with all the ratings and all of that kind of stuff as well.
Probably, yeah. So it will be like it's a tiered registration, but missed out.
Yeah,
I think it's on him. But yes, anyway, shame. 23 years is pretty crazy, and I'm sure that'll stand for a while anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's probably enough Worlds talk, unless anybody else anything else to add there.
No, I loved it.
Let's do it.
I love getting up early. Dylan Feldman came around each time. Well, he slept through his alarm twice, but he came around. We watched it. It was great. I loved it.
Now we need to get on. We have coming up on the blower. We have the young gun from WA who came second at the Open, Connor Donnelly.
Yeah, super keen for this. Keen to hear all about it. Let's get him on.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disco and to catch up on the latest disco trends.
All right, and on the phone, coming all the way from WA, is Connor Donnelly. Mate, you aren't on the course phoning into the tee off. You're actually, in the hospital. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I've a couple of months ago got diagnosed with a tumour in my kidney. So I'm just spent the last 48 hours in hospital getting that cut out and taken care of. So I'm getting ready to start some rehab and get back into playing hopefully soon, but probably not as soon as I might like it to be.
Mate, you're literally calling from the hospital, and like your first thoughts are not your health and well-being. It's like, I better dial into the tee off. Like, you are an absolute legend, mate. We really appreciate you coming on.
Look, I hope you hit up the anaesthetist pre and said, "Hey, look, we have to do it here. You have to, don't go too heavy on the sedation drugs, mate. I need to be speaking full sentences by the time I get on the interview."
Having said that, if there's any oxycodone there, mate, just flick it across to myself. No.
Connor, mate, like
I'll pass it for you.
Mate, I had a chat to you about your just bad run of health breaks in the last, not just last few months with the tumour of the kidney, but you even had the the injury months and months and months ago, so you've had a tough break, mate. How's it coming back to the sport of disc golf after so many months out, and how the hell are you still really good?
How is it coming back after months off?
Yeah.
Horrible. Going from, I make 9 out of 10 circle one putts and I'm throwing 130, 140 meters, to then go back to play after 3 months and find you only throw 105 meters and you only make putts from inside 4 meters. It tends to take a little bit of the fun out of it.
How do you go with that, Fergie?
I was just listening to those stats then going, oh, yeah, that reminds me about something.
Do you put that down, Connor? Do you, like, coming back into the sport, did you have to do like training, or did you just jump straight back into tourneys? Like, what was the road back from those injuries and from the surgeries?
Yeah, well, last year I kind of rushed myself back in, which I regret doing. I think I played 4 events in the 3 months following the surgery, which is probably not the smartest decision I've ever made. So I think this time around I'll be taking some time off. I don't think I'm going to play anything PDGA until into next year. Potentially Sizzler, possibly one of the earlier WA events if they're on beforehand. But yeah, I think last year definitely rating took a massive knock from playing a few too many tournaments when I shouldn't have been. I think I was 948 before my surgery, and then I was down at 922 at some point earlier this year. So,
well. Yeah, mate, you've gone round the WA Open with an average of 1,008. Yeah. So that's a slight improvement there.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, thanks for that, Connor. As a 932 propagator, that hurts, mate. But that's bloody awesome. And that's why we got you on, mate, because the breakout performance at the WA Open has certainly raised some eyebrows. You pushed Austin D'Alessandro, who's just been on an absolute tear this year, to the last hole. And I want to get your thoughts on that because maybe we'll go back to hole 17 where you probably thought, Austin's got this one, but no, he thinks, I'll just keep things interesting. Austin sends it OB on 17 and all of a sudden the doors open.
Yep.
You get a stroke on him there and you're 1 stroke back with hole 18 to play, which is a 95-metre uphill backhand hyzer to like an island green that's maybe like circling a little bit. Is the size of the island.
Yeah. Some sides are about 8 meters, some of the sides are about 12, so averages out to about circle 1.
Yep. And you must have been nervous because I remember specifically I filmed your putts in round 1 and 2 on this hole, and you had chain outs both times. Both times.
Yep.
Because you were filming, sniper.
Yeah, I didn't snipe him on this one. Actually, I think I might have filmed this one too. But anyway.
All right. So what happens?
Connor steps up. He's got the box, needs to put the pressure on Austin, and he parks it. And I'm talking a metre.
Okay.
What were you thinking at that point, Connor? Did you think, Austin's going to shank this? Or, be honest, did you think he had it wrapped up?
I thought the moment that mine stuck 3 meters from the basket, I was mentally preparing for a playoff.
Good.
I know if I was in that position, only 1 stroke lead, already dropped a stroke on the last hole, like that would have been slightly terrifying for Austin. I think talking to him after, he was a little bit stressed out when he was stepping up to throw. Look,
I can imagine.
I threw it as well as I could have without acing it.
Yeah.
And put myself where I needed to be. It's just, unfortunately, Austin was insanely good. I think he was a 10-10 average over the weekend.
Yeah, that's He had 11 birdies in that final round too. He's on an absolute tear. But the result was Austin put it to about 8 or 9 meters and then canned the putt. And unfortunately, that left Connor in second place. But mate, still super kudos for that performance because it was bloody awesome. I know you did your sponsors in Disc Golf Warehouse proud, and a lot of people were rooting for you, mate, because Austin's been winning too much. So you were the fan favourite on the day, I must say.
Yeah.
Except for one person. Now, I need to mention young Blake Houston. Were you aware that he had a bet that involved you and your performance at WA Open?
Yes, but I only became aware of that, I think, halfway through round 3.
Is that right?
We were out on the course, and Alex just walks up to me and goes, if you win this, Blake's got to dye his hair and make himself look like Slim Shady and go for a swim in the tree.
Slim Shady.
Mate, there was like 10 elements to this bet. Blake basically took my if Tristan Tanner wins Worlds, I'll jump into the dam bet to the nth degree and added like 10 things. Like he's going to throw a disc off the weir, the dam in WA.
Yeah.
And dye his hair and all this sorts of stuff if Connor won. He gave you no chance, mate.
Yeah, look, if I've got to be honest, the reason I'm most annoyed about not winning is I didn't get to put Blake through that punishment. He beat me too many times. I would have liked to chuck him through the ringer and go for a swim under the creek at the Mundaring hole 2 and see how that all got on. But
well, that's on Austin. Austin, you're listening to this. I know you are, mate. You could have just had Blake House and in absolute hysterics. That would have been awesome.
It's almost worth for Austin just to throw it over last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you yank that.
I'll get the scissors and the die for Blake.
Perfect.
But no, mate, stellar performance. It is a shame that with the health, you probably won't be back on the Aussie scene for maybe the rest of 2023. But very excited to see you getting back for 24 and see what that brings. Absolutely unreal performance at WA though. Yeah.
Have you got any grand plans for 2024? Like, is touring on the cards here? Any trips to the States or Europe even?
Yeah, I'm looking. I think now what I'm going to look at for next year is do a 2 or 3 month swing in Europe, sort of around the middle of the year, and then come back in time for the World Team Championships and the Aussie Open in Mundaring towards the back end of next year. So I think I'll go and get a bit of experience, come back, and then hopefully get to be able to smash it out in those.
Unreal, man. That
That'd
sounds
be awesome.
Absolutely huge.
Alrighty, man. Well, look, can't thank you enough for dialing in from the hospital bed. We just wanted to make sure we got you on, give you a shout out for your performance at WA Open. We're a bit disappointed we won't be seeing you for a few months, but we wish you all the very, very best for your recovery, and I'm sure you'll be back onto bigger and better things in 2024, mate.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back out until next year.
Cool, man. All right, make sure you take your pain relief. Make sure you have your colloxolin center. Get those bowels working. As the nurse in the room, look after yourself. Do your rehab.
Appreciate it, buddy. Love it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks again, Connor.
Thanks, Connor.
Unreal from Connor there. It's insane that he just had his operation yesterday. But stoked to have a chat to the guy and we do wish him all the best.
Mate, the kid needs some good luck because he's had such bad run with health. Like, if he hadn't had that, he could have been winning these majors this year.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if I was in a hospital bed right now, I'd be buggered if I was calling you blokes to have a chat. Let me tell you.
Nah, you'd be doped up watching Parked Media's coverage of round 3, Fergie. I'm happy to be on it. Make sure you check it out.
I'll be watching my own little YouTube videos of me playing the Central Vic Classic.
Now, Paddy, I do believe we've had some questions sent in.
Yeah, look, we had a couple come in. One, I'm so happy. Dylan Feldman has actually jumped on. He's gone to the next level and sent in an audio recording question. Fergie, it's for you. Let's hear it.
G'day, tee off. It's Dylan here, Dylan Feldman. I just thought I'd share something with you. So my beautiful fiance found a clip that you're probably aware of but may have forgotten about, a Totally Wild episode back in 2017. And towards the end, I'd forgotten about this when I was rewatching it. And Andrew Ferguson of the tee-off, the one and only, actually hit an ace on camera. Just wondering, was that the last shot that Fergie threw that was actually good? Was that the last good shot that Fergie's actually thrown?
Snipe.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, just wanted to hear your thoughts.
Look, firstly, I actually enjoy an audio question. I think we need more of these.
Oh,
nice.
mate, you do that instant. I'll send you something cool. Like, you get a pin if you send in an audio.
Short answer, probably.
Mate, you're on Totally Wild, the kids show.
I'm going to dig up this thing and throw it out there on the socials or something. Maybe you can put it onto. It was actually a fair race. We're down there with who was there? Casper and a bunch of the Geelong crew recording an episode of Totally Wild. They wanted to do a special on disc golf, and it wasn't too bad actually. And then, sure enough, we're all having a couple of pings, and I think I'd thrown one already, but I laced a Mako 3 straight down the guts of hole 1 and smashed the. In fact, the sun was on the basket, the chains lit up. It was amazing,
mate. The only thing about it is the audio, because you guys are screaming so hard.
Oh, we blow it out.
It blows out every speaker you'll ever have. But
wait, can we just assume everyone knows what Totally Wild is?
Oh, okay.
Because we might be showing our age here.
Yeah, well,
basically, Totally Wild was the show that came on when the cartoons finished.
Yeah.
no one liked, because we all missed the cartoons. But they, I don't know, it was like a kids-oriented program that showed little clips about different sports and animals and things. Yeah. And disc golf was on there.
Disc, I mean, it's a little departure from the norm of Totally Wild, because usually it was about animals more and stuff like that. But I guess they diversified into disc golf, and hilarious stuff.
Mate,
yeah. And Dylan was like all of 5 years old.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the funny thing.
It's such like it's a classic Fergie moment too. You put a camera on you and you'll ace. Like it's so good. But I'm surprised Casper.
Can you film me next time?
My phone doesn't do the Totally Mild magic, mate.
I'm surprised Casper keeps his clothes on in the video too, because he wants.
Does jump on me.
But no, thank you, Dylan. Excellent question for Fergie. Dan Frost has sent in. It's not a question, but he wants to say the three of us, and I'm assuming that is Jade Brady and Austin D'Alessandro, spent half an hour trying to get a spit out on the new Rad Ace basket, and they maybe only got 2. They reckon it's elite.
Oh, mate, this is
Fergie.
just...
Hey? You got to tell us about it. What do you
place your orders now? Let me tell you, place your orders now.
I have a really good video of Blake Houston putting at 80 miles an hour into that thing, putting with basically better than my backhand arm speed, and it was catching everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's the design has come together really nicely.
So it's the second Rad Ace, and it was a soft release at the the first look at the WA Open.
Yeah, we took it over there and
it's ready to go. Let's rip out every basket in Australia. I know Poimeen is getting the RPMs, rip them out. They just got them. They can get refunds. Surely got the receipt.
Disc Golf Pro Tour. I think they need a standardised basket. There it is. Ready to go.
Thanks, Drew Gibson.
Order 1,000. No, that's awesome, Dan Frost. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't good feedback, then I wouldn't be happy. But that is awesome feedback, and I certainly appreciate it. So.
Yes. Austin has actually sent in thoughts on someone complimenting your putting mid-round during a tournament. Now, he has sent a little bit of context with this as well. So apparently in the WA Open, round 2, hole 13, he's playing well. He's nailed another tester putt. Connor hits him up on the way to the next tee pad, says, "Do you remember what it's like to actually miss a putt?"
Oh, yes. Good question, Connor.
Austin then goes 2+ through the next 5. His round was done just like that.
Oh, boy, Austin.
And you know what, Austin? That's on you, brother. You can't be too unhappy about someone giving you a compliment on the actual course.
It is the compliments, though, that get people.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Paul Arden, every time. Be playing a good round. He's just like, "You're going all right." Done. Cooked. 7 over for the next 3 holes.
I know what I'm saying next time I play with you, Fergs. And Austin.
We do know that, Austin, really you need to go up to him and say, "Man, you are useless at disc golf." And then he'll shoot a 10.36. But yes, I did enjoy reading that. And Austin, you got to work on that game, mate, because now everyone is going to come up to you and say, "Yeah, well, you're playing all right, aren't you?" But no, good one.
Next question. Jacob Davies has sent in thoughts on WA Open and why was it the best major of the year so far? Quite a leading question there, Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob Davies?
Jacob Davies.
Oh, okay.
WA local.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Why was it the best major of the year so far? Well, because Eruption hasn't been yet.
Yeah.
But also, was it? What about little thing called Queensland Open?
Well, Queensland Open, Vic Open as well with live coverage. There's been some epic tournaments this year. So look,
how many people played WA Open?
100?
Jeez,
100 people.
Okay. Yep. Not huge on the numbers, but
it is WA though.
We didn't play it. I know, Tim, you were there,
mate. It was bloody awesome. It could well be the best major of the year so far.
Yeah,
I think the short answer, if we're getting serious, is to say, I mean, if you've got a decent club running an event that's organised from the top down with people allocated roles, you've got other kind of fun events going on, putting, distance, social things. I mean, that's going to create the vibe.
And you know what? Can you all those things you just said, they fall second to the weather. It was like 27, sunny, and no wind. Like, yeah, you're spot on, Jacob. WA Open was the best one.
That is the most Victorian answer.
I was just
ever.
thinking, I was like, yeah, Queensland was a bit windy. And you know what, it was a bit, WA all day. It was bloody immaculate.
Well, I think it's also a shout out to all the TDs and all the clubs that are really raising the bar. They know that good things have been done in the past, and they want to keep getting better and better. So awesome to see.
You know what has got that sick? Like hole 18 finishing right in front of the clubhouse, so everybody's watching.
Yeah.
And hole 1, big launch pad, scary hole.
I do. That whole one is one of my favorites, especially like in the Aussie Open when you're seeing all these big pros like putting it past the golf green down into the bottleneck. Like,
it's so far. It is so far. When you watch that Spin TV coverage, you're like, oh yeah, that doesn't look that bad, but it's so hard to do.
Absolutely. Clayton Beck. Must be Clayton Beck. That picture of Matt Oram looks like a ditto trying to take human form. Now, I
what's that picture? What's he talking about?
I don't know. What picture?
That's on our story. I took that one of classic Matt Oram.
A ditto. That's a Pokemon, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
It's okay. There's one that morphs into the other Pokemon. Come on, Fergs. Everybody knows that.
That's not my vintage, mate.
Nice.
That's
now, finally, Rob Lambert has sent in. Loves the cast, but you have to stop calling a throw-in a field ace.
Oh, here we go.
Honestly, thought you were better than this. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I got field ace last week when I threw it in and marked a 5 on my card. Unless it's a 1 on the card, it's not an ace. It's just you got it in the basket. Keep up the good work, though.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
That is way worse than being angry.
I don't. Which one of us is calling a field ace?
I call it a field. So, this is my argument here. I know it's not an ace. Ace means 1.
Yeah,
but some people have throw-ins that are their 3rd or 4th shots, and it's better than people's aces.
Yeah,
like Shawnee Freeman the other day. Shout out to Big Shawnee.
Yeah.
Playing Inverleigh, had an 80-metre backhand mid, that just lost its speed at the right time and just was perfectly nestled in the chains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's better than 90% of people's aces, that. And it's not an ace. He's never had an ace.
No.
So I'm like, I don't know, call it field ace, make him feel good.
Is there a different name?
I was going to say, what did he take on that hole?
Yeah, no, that was for birdie.
Oh, that was for birdie. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a birdie.
It was a birdie.
A throw-in for
there's some
birdie.
other names out there. Maybe people can suggest some other names for not throw-ins or...
Yeah,
aces
mate, I'll throw it in. I'll call it a throw in, but send them in. We'll read them out. We have some fun with it. All right, boys, that's a huge episode there. And thank you. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Send in any questions, topics you'd like us to discuss. We love it, especially those audio questions. Thank you, Dylan Feldman. Fergie,
thanks for having us.
Tim.
Mate, good to be back. There's 3 episodes in 3 weeks, just so you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Look out.
Yeah, our wives are loving it.
Yeah.
Yes, but no. Until next time, we hope you get out there, play some disc golf with your mates.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.